Welcome to Prime Space, a Prime Coaching Academy podcast with your host, Elias Scultori. Coaches, this week was rich in conversations with my clients, students, and mentees. I have so much to talk with you about and so many topics to address here at Prime Space. However, we need to address a major change that the ICF is rolling out regarding the certification process. Have you heard about it? I'm tempted to start screaming here, no more recordings, but not so fast. So yes, beginning January 1st, 2027, anyone applying for ACC or PCC through the portfolio path will no longer need to submit recordings for assessment by the ICF. The ICF is dropping the performance evaluation at the ACC and PCC levels. Instead, the applicant must have completed an enhanced mentor coaching process with a mentor coach who has earned the MCQ, a Mentor Coaching Qualification. Okay, there is a lot there, so let's digest this. That's what we're here for, right? What's happening is that the ICF is moving the certification process from a performance evaluation to a formative evaluation. Meaning, if you are applying for ACC and PCC, instead of relying on one or two recordings to demonstrate your skills, you will now have the opportunity to work closely with a mentor coach through a robust mentor coaching process over a period of time. And during that time, demonstrate gradually your growth and development throughout the journey. Isn't this great? Coaches no longer have to prove their qualification and skills through this one-time elusive recording. So instead, your assessment of competence will come through this close partnership that you will establish with a qualified mentor coach. This is so much more realistic, fair, and practical too. So quoting some of the ICF documents, this is what they say. This change reflects how coaching competence is actually developed through practice, feedback, and reflection over time. By strengthening mentor coaching and evolving our evaluation model, we are creating a more consistent, practice-based approach to validate coaching skills. The result is a credentialing process that is more reliable, more relevant to real coaching practice, and better aligned with the expectations of our growing global profession. So again, beginning January 1st, 2027, if you are applying for ACC or PCC through the portfolio path, you will no longer need to submit recordings. You will instead need to submit the standardized forms completed by your mentor coach, attesting to the development of your skills over time and your current level of competence. Much more reasonable and productive because we already have mentor coaching. Mentor coaching has always been a part of the process. So what's different is the standardized, specific documentation of your development through this partnership with your mentor coach. I absolutely love this because it puts the spotlight where it should be, not in this manufactured one-time recording, but in the actual developmental process of a coach. Of course, I also love it because it highlights the crucial role of mentor coaching in a professional coach's development. Even though the minimum requirement for mentor coaching is still the same 10 hours, it clearly emphasizes that this is a process and not a magic that has to happen within 10 hours. It stresses the importance of ongoing coach development. Mentor coaching is not simply something we get when we are getting a certification. Mentor coaching is a developmental process that, if we are committed to being great professionals, we want to be a part of, regardless of certification. Not, I'm going to get mentor coaching because it is a requirement. Give me the minimum and I'm done. But I need to look at this as the process, a part of my growth and development. But Elias, how are we going to know that the mentor coaching is truly happening ethically and appropriately? Because since this is now kind of up to the mentor coach and the coach, anything can happen, right? There is nobody there when the two of us are working. Well, so together with this change of the certification process, the ICF is also releasing the Mentor Coaching Qualification, the MCQs that I mentioned earlier. So if a mentor coach carries an MCQ, it means that this mentor coach has not only been properly trained, but is also accountable for this process. The mentor coach qualification connects this mentor coach to the standards set by the ICF. These mentor coaching hours must be conducted with a mentor coach who holds an MCQ at the level you will be applying to. That's why it's not just any mentor coaching. And I'm happy to say that I have already submitted my application for MCQ at all three levels, ACC, PCC, and MCC. So when the ICF releases this designation in a few weeks, I'll probably be one of the first to receive it. That's very exciting, and I hope that it shows you my commitment to supporting you in the best way possible. MCQs, this mentor coaching qualification, is a very substantial step. For years, it wasn't clear what made a mentor coach good. There were no clear standards, and sometimes coaches would get a mentor coach who wasn't really qualified or capable to provide them with solid development. Now you know, just as we want our coaches to have ICF certification and demonstrate their skill level and professionalism, you now have a designation that provides you with greater assurance when hiring a mentor coach. For you, the coach, all that is happening doesn't change much. You will still need to get your mentor coaching hours as before. Now you just need to make sure that your mentor coach has an MCQ at the certification level you're applying for. And the mentor coach will continue to listen to your recordings. So you still need to create recordings. The only difference is that the mentor coach will be providing you with these standardized forms to evaluate your development along the way. And when you submit your portfolio application, you will need to provide these forms to the ICF. But Elias, I graduated from a level 1 or a level 2 training program. I don't have these forms. Well, you don't need them. If you have a level 1 or a level 2 certificate of completion, it means that the entire mentor coaching process happened within the program. So as before, when applying for your certification through the level 1 or level 2 path, you will only need to provide your certificate of completion and, of course, along with all the other requirements, and you're good to go. The bottom line here is the shift of focus from this elusive recording to this robust mentor coaching process, a shift from a one-time performance to ongoing and greater development of the coach. This is a major progress in the validity and respectability of ICF certification. There is a lot going on behind the scenes. I've been aware that this change was coming since last year, but I could not fully disclose this publicly because the ICF was still working on the details. And I fully support this decision, even though it means I'll have to work harder. I'll have to work harder for you. But that's good. It's totally worth it because I believe this has the potential to raise the bar for our training and for our profession. One interesting detail in this process is how the ICF highlights the importance of a robust and, I would say, holistic approach to coaching development. In the ICF's Mentor Coach Guide, which they also just released together with all of these changes, there is a comprehensive discussion there of the distinction between mentor coaching and coaching supervision and how both play significant roles in the coach's development. And I love that. We've always had mentor coaching as part of coaching development, even before the ICF was created. But mentor coaching then meant this holistic approach. Today, we have this distinction between mentor coaching and coaching supervision. But as I said before, I believe this separation is rather silly. And I say this as a qualified, trained, and certified coach supervisor. You cannot separate skills development from the coach's holistic development as a human being. Coaching supervision has given us additional resources and approaches that are very valuable. But in practice, I believe that mentor coaching without supervision or supervision without mentor coaching doesn't work, has never worked. Coaches are whole human beings, and you support them holistically. Does it mean that now we have to have a mentor coach and a coach supervisor? Of course not. That's crazy, right? But what about working with one senior coach who can provide you with both or has the experience to work with you holistically speaking? Coaching development has never been and cannot be only skills development. This cannot be separated. And I am looking forward to continuing to support you in this holistic practice to not simply get a certification. You know me by now. My goal is to support you in becoming the best coach you can be and in bringing even more value to your clients. That's the focus. And I believe this change stresses this even more. One little detail, if you are applying for your MCC, for now, nothing changes except that your mentor coaching has to be done with a mentor coach who has an MCQ, Mentor Coaching Qualification, at MCC level. For now, you still have to submit your recordings for assessment. And the reason for this, again, rightly so, is that MCC is much more nuanced and requires additional considerations. So the ICF says that later in 2027, they will start a process to see what would be best for the MCC certification. So that is TBD, to be determined. I guess the point to highlight here, again, is development. And the question for you is, why do you want to hold an ICF certification? This is probably something that I have to address in another episode, but just for now, remember, fulfilling minimum requirements to simply get a stamp is not worth it. There are thousands of very successful coaches out there who never even had proper training. If the only thing you want is to have a successful practice and make money, there is no real reason for you to pursue a certification with the ICF. Yes, ICF certification has become more respected precisely because the ICF has demonstrated a commitment to professionalism and to the pursuit of excellence. But still, there are plenty of opportunities out there that do not require certification. The goal here is development, not to simply achieve minimal requirements, but to bring you to your next level. As you continue on this journey, you're going to reach certain markers, and then you go and you get the stamp. Professionalism, commitment, curiosity. No matter who we are or whatever success or experience we may have, we are never done. And we need to be humble about that. Do I have the courage and the humility to see what's next, both for me and for my clients? I know that you have lots of questions about these changes. Feel free to reach out anytime. Have you left a comment about these episodes? I'd love to hear from you, and I appreciate it when you share these episodes with your fellow coaches. More to come next week. I'll talk with you then.